Hi everyone, so today we're making jollof rice, but not plain jollof rice, goat meat flavor infused jollof rice. This one is bursting with flavors. Anyway, before we start, have you subscribed to my channel yet? What are you waiting for? Hey Joe, just use one finger to click that subscribe button. Please help my ministry grow. Hey Joe, thank you. Guess who found goat meat with skin on for the first time in nearly 14 years? Me. The amount of goat meat recipes that will be coming up shortly, you people will beg me to stop. Well, unfortunately, it's quite fatty, but it's fine. So this I will be seasoning with some blended onions, bouillon cubes, thyme, curry powder, and some salt. And after mixing thoroughly, I will leave this to marinate for about 2 hours. Normally I would do an overnight marination, but because I'm pressed for time, I won't be able to do that on this occasion. But it is recommended that you do an overnight one if you want it bursting with absolute flavors. So that's that. And after marination, I'm going to place this on low to medium heat and leave to simmer for about 20 minutes. I won't be adding water at this time, and that's because I want the spices to penetrate as much as possible into the meats. And I'm just going to check on the meat after 20 minutes and then add some water. I won't be adding too much water, and that's because I want the broth to be concentrated, because I will be using it to make the jollof rice. So just enough water to cook, and cover and leave to cook until soft. And for my pepper mix, I will be using 1 paprika pepper, and the only reason I'm using that is because I haven't got enough bell peppers, and I'm using 2.5 bell peppers, that's Tatashe, and I'm using 2 onions and 3 Scotch bonnet peppers. I'll also be using some ginger. Ginger is one of my 3 secret ingredients for perfect jollof rice. If you don't know how to use ginger, you should start now. It sort of intensifies that smoky flavor because it's quite aromatic, and it is just amazing in jollof rice. If you don't already use it, please start and then come back and then give me your testimony. I'll be waiting. For my tomatoes, I will be using canned tomatoes, that's Plum tomatoes. And if you're going to be using fresh tomatoes, you would need about 4 to 5 medium sizes. And now I'm going to blend my pepper mix, starting with tomatoes and then peppers, Scotch bonnet peppers, and then onions and the ginger. And after blending, I'm going to transfer the pepper mix into a pan placed on medium heat. To this, I will be adding some thyme, bouillon cubes, white pepper, which is also one of my secret ingredients, but be careful because it is quite hot. If you don't already use white pepper, you should start. It is amazing in jollof rice. Curry powder, and some bay leaves. I won't be adding salt at this time, and that's because I will be cooking with the meat broth, and I'm not sure how salty that's going to be, so I can always add that later. Now I'll cover this and leave to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I need the water content to evaporate as much as possible. And after 20 minutes, as you can see, the water content is pretty much gone, and now I will set this aside. And for my rice, I will be using Golden Cellar Basmati, not pure Basmati, Golden Cellar, the 2 different kinds. The pure one is the one with the shorter grains, you know, the one that goes mushy and has got that kind of awful smell. This one holds really well. It is parboiled, and it's the one with the longer grains. It doesn't go mushy at all. If you ever cook this rice and it goes mushy, I can't help you. Anyway, some really good brands are Ashley, Tilda, Tropical Sun, L'Aquila. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's sold in Nigeria. Anyway, so that's it with the rice. And now I'm just going to check on the meats. They are well cooked now, and I will transfer them into a plate and reserve the broth for later. The next step is to heat up some vegetable oil in a pan. You can also use sunflower oil or any other oil of your choosing, but please don't use olive oil for jollof rice, please don't. And then I will be adding some onions, garlic, and thyme, and that's only for flavor, so if you want you can skip this step. I'll leave this to fry for about 2 to 3 minutes or until fragrant, and then I'll start adding my boiled meats. Once the meats are well fried, I will transfer the meat into a plate again and then reduce the oil. To this, I will be adding some more chopped onions and fry for about 2 to 3 minutes. And after 2 to 3 minutes, I'll go in with my tomato paste. This will be fried for about 15 minutes or until it begins to taste sweet or begins to look like tiny pebbles. Please be sure to stir this from time to time to prevent burning. And once it's fully fried, I will set it aside. And we're back to the pepper mix. At this point, I'm going to add in the fried puree. Mix thoroughly, and then I will leave to fry for about 15 minutes or until fully combined. So I'm sure some people are wondering, all this frying, all this time. See, this is the perfect base for jollof rice. Anything other than this, you're just making peppered rice. So no pain, no gain. And as I've just done now, I've added some more oil because I didn't have enough, and now covering to allow it to fry. And after frying, I'll go in with my meat broth and mix thoroughly. And because I haven't got enough meat broth, I'm going to add water and mix thoroughly again. And then I will cover this and leave to cook for about 10 minutes. I just want it to combine really well before adding the rice. And at this point, I'm going to go in with my thoroughly washed rice. If you're not comfortable using raw rice, you can parboil your rice first, although I don't recommend it unless you're cooking with firewood. Because my opinion here, I just believe that if you use parboiled rice, the rice won't fry for as long as possible and it won't be as smoky. But like I said, if you're not comfortable using it, because I know some people aren't, then you can just parboil your rice for about, say, 5 minutes or something and then use. At this point, I'm going to taste for salt and seasoning to see if it needs any more. Mine needs a bit of salt, so in goes some more salt. Afterwards, I'm going to cover with some kitchen foil. The reason for the kitchen foil is to trap in enough heat. Jollof rice is cooked with steam rather than liquid. As you can see from the pot, I didn't add too much water or liquid to it. The rest will be done with steam. And then I will cover with the lid and then leave to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes before checking back. And after 10 to 15 minutes, I'll check back, and as you can see, the rice is halfway cooked. I'm just going to stir this. The reason for this stirring now is to prevent excessive burning. Yes, the rice will burn. It has to burn. This is how you get the smoky flavor, but you don't want it to burn too much. So after mixing, I will cover again and then leave to cook for another 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, this is what it looks like. It's cooked 3/4 of the way. And at this point, I'm just going to stir again, but I won't be stirring too deeply. And that's because the rice is burnt at this time, and I don't want, I'm trying not to raise up the burnt bit. And then at this point I will add my chopped onions, tomatoes, and butter. I've had so many people ask me why I use butter for my jollof rice. Well, it's simple. Jollof rice is fried, not boiled. Contrary to what people think, it is actually fried. And you end up losing so much moisture, especially when it burns. So what the butter does is to replenish that lost moisture, especially when you're using this sort of rice, that's this Sela basmati. You need to replenish it, otherwise it's going to be too dry. And now I'm going to allow this to cook again for about 5 minutes thereabouts. And after 5 minutes, I will go in with my fried meats. And after mixing thoroughly, this will be left to simmer on low heat for about 5 minutes. And after that 5 minutes, the jollof rice is ready. It is soft enough. And do bear in mind that if you're using a different kind of rice, the cooking times will vary. But if you go by those guidelines, you should be fine with whatever kind of rice you choose to use. And I need you to listen to this magical sound of perfect jollof rice. And as you can see, perfect jollof rice, the perfect color, the taste, the flavor from the goat meat intensifies this jollof rice exponentially. I can't even explain it. Anyways, will you be trying this recipe? If you do, please let me know how you get on with it. And please subscribe to my channel and do give me a thumbs up. And let me know in the comments if there's any recipe you would like me to try. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.